Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a brand new pick a card reading, but before we dive into it, I have such a special announcement. My jewelry company LunaGem is having the biggest sale of the year right now for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and you can get 25% off of your entire order. So if you have not heard of LunaGem before, it is my crystal and jewelry company where we hand make the most gorgeous crystal bracelets, and we make them according to your wrist size so that they fit you perfectly. We also make them with gold fill or sterling silver so they do not tarnish. They are super high quality, and we also use the highest quality, most beautiful gemstones, and they all have metaphysical properties. So if you're into the crystal healing and crystal energetic benefits, you can read about each of the crystals and their energetic benefits online. We have these little descriptions which really help you when browsing through the site and just sort of kind of getting a glance at each of the different energetic benefits of each crystal. Lately, I've been really into wearing ruby and blue topaz together, especially when I'm filming videos, because ruby ignites your inner energy and your inner vitality and passion, and blue topaz helps open up your throat chakra and really helps with communication and speaking. So both of these together, whenever I'm filming videos, just really energizes me and makes me feel like my communication channels are just fully open. But of course, no matter what it is that you are wanting to attract or create energetically, you can read about the different crystal benefits online, and we also have tons of other jewelry as well. We just launched these gorgeous hand chains, which you guys have been asking about for years, so you can finally order these hand chains on LunaGem. We also have tons of other jewelry, including rings, necklaces, earrings, and other crystals that you can place around your home or place in your purse or anything like that. We have tons of other products, so definitely go check that out on LunaGem. All the information is going to be linked down below. And right now you can get 25% off of your entire order using code BF25. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right back into today's video. And welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we have a brand new pick a card reading all about your month of December of 2025, the last month of the year. Oh my goodness, this year went by so fast, but here we are. I'm so excited to dive into this. If you are new here, we use the tarot cards and the oracle cards to bring you information that is for your highest good. So depending on which group that you are drawn to, we actually all have this intuitive sixth sense, and it is our sense that reads energy. And of course, energy permeates time and space and reality. So of course, there's different energies within each of these groups. They have different themes going on in them, and your intuition is going to feel into and know exactly which one matches your energy, meaning that you are going to get a reading that is exactly what you are meant to hear, that is resonating exactly with the energy that you are in right now. So once you're done choosing your group, and once you know what group that you are intuitively drawn towards, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box, so that you can easily skip right ahead to your particular reading all about your December 2025 month ahead prediction. If you are having troubles tapping into your intuition, another method that I love to use is I like to take my hand and I just gently hold it over each of the groups, just sensing what I feel in that pile. And then, of course, if there's one that stands out to me, one that feels a little bit different, then I know that, ooh, that must be my group, because that is the one that my intuition is, of course, calling me towards. So then, of course, there's timestamps linked down below so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading. And that is how these videos work. You can pause the video to take all the time in the world that you need. I know some of you also like to choose via the crystals that are on the cards. So if that's you, then over here on group number 1, we have this really beautiful opalite crystal. So if you find yourself drawn to the opalite, then group number 1 is going to be your pile. If you find yourself drawn to the amethyst, the Lemurian amethyst piece, then group number 2 is going to be your pile. Then if you find yourself drawn to the tangerine quartz, then group number 3 is going to be your pile. And then if you find yourself drawn to the prehnite, then group 4 is going to be your pile. So those are today's crystal options for today's video. Of course, you can take all the time in the world that you need, even pause the video if you would like. And then without further ado, I'll see you inside of your reading. Let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group number ones, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group number ones, we have the Ten of Swords upright, King of Swords being reversed, the Seven of Pentacles being reversed, and then we have the Emperor being reversed as well. So an interesting month of December ahead. I know some of these cards you're like, wait, what is happening? But hear me out here. So the Ten of Swords actually signifies the ending of a hard time, the culmination point, something that has been bothering you. And the swords tend to be something that's more within the mind or more within kind of our mental realms. So things such as like stresses or even feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, or even just kind of fighting negative thoughts or feeling like you were in a negative spiral or even overthinking like certain situations and things like this. The Ten of Swords is the ending of that cycle. And then even on the Ten of Swords, the tens always signify the ending of a chapter. Then we have this beautiful horizon showing in the background, meaning that through the month of December, you're gonna start to see, there's like a new dawn in your day, basically, a new dawn in your life. Something that brings you hope, something that brings you new insight, more positivity, good news coming in, that signifies the end of this old chapter. And I also feel like I'm getting this vibe that some of you are kind of ready to close out this year, and there's this excitement for a new year because maybe you're feeling kind of like, you know what, I just want to let this year go. Maybe it wasn't the greatest year. Maybe it had some certain stressful points or stressful moments. And I feel like you're kind of ready for like a new beginning and sort of like an entering of a new phase and a new chapter. The King of Swords showing up right next to it kind of makes me feel like there could have been a King of Swords person involved in this situation. But the King of Swords reverse can also represent yourself, right? So the King of Swords would usually represent, if it's representing someone, usually represents an air sign person. So like an Aquarius or a Gemini or a Libra type of person. And usually they are a male, usually. But of course, the King of Swords can also represent you. This would represent someone that you're either disagreeing with or someone where there was conversations that need to be kind of leveled out and figured out. If it's representing you, it can represent that we've gone into this spiral of kind of having our inner critic take over a little bit, or our inner worrywart taking over a little bit. And I feel like in the month of December, you are so ready to close that chapter out. I feel like you're so ready for a mental reset. And the Ten of Swords is such a great card to actually be coming up because the dawning that's happening on the horizon, I really feel like throughout the month of December, it's like you're really integrating something that's giving you hope and giving you kind of like a new sense of clarity and also a new sense of energy. The Seven of Pentacles being reversed as well kind of makes me feel like there's been something that you've been really wanting to blossom, something that you've been really wanting to see the results of, but it almost feels like it kind of wilted and now we're like, okay, do I just let this go? I really feel like there's something big that you are letting go in the month of December, and this could be a significant relationship, or this could even be kind of like a desire that you had that you're like, you know what, I just need to like let this go for a little bit and like fully close out this chapter. And I really feel like the month of December for you is closing out the past in order to kind of create a brand new year where you don't have to repeat the past. Because I also feel like there's this realization of like, I don't want to have patterns anymore. And you're going to be doing things that help you completely close out the past. The Emperor being reversed as well, I almost see you perhaps going into this like end of the year with this desire to kind of like reinvent yourself. The Emperor being reversed can come up when we've allowed challenges to maybe make us doubt ourselves or even have a bunch of fear of like, you know, could I ever make this happen? Do I give up on my dreams? Like kind of thoughts like that, right? With the Emperor being reversed, I have some things to say about this. You have the ability to create anything, but of course it's going to get created based on our ability to mentally believe in ourselves, to mentally kind of persevere. And so one thing I'm definitely seeing is like December is a healing month for you. And as this new horizon starts to come out, you're gonna enter the new year kind of feeling reinvented and reinvigorated, but allow December to be the month where you're just like releasing and letting go of the old, because it's gonna really help you invite in that new horizon. And that new horizon is gonna, again, bring new energy, new hopes, new feelings, and it's gonna allow you to kind of like leave behind the past and completely close that door. So December is like a closing of the door type of month, but let's see what else we have here for you. So we also have the shapeshifter. Ooh, okay, I love that this card came up for you. So you're absolutely going through a reinvention, because you're no longer wanting to continue kind of perpetuating the same patterns, the same behaviors, the same results. December is gonna be your month of seizing and stopping in order to decide, what do I want to shape into next year? What do I want to become next year? It's kind of like you're shaking off the old, you're ruffling the feathers, and you're like, you know what? I need to shake this off. I need to get rid of this. It's kind of like this, it's almost like you're getting this internal nudge, like there's going to be certain things that come up through the month that are like, you know what? I'm getting rid of this. And it's almost like it's happening a little bit spontaneously, where it's like, you know what? I'm going to do a whole clean out. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to end this. I don't want this anymore. And it's like you're literally shaping up a new reality, because I really feel like once you make change, your external reality changes as well. And you're going to be noticing that big time. We also have caretaker and reunite, serve, and accompany. So the caretaker card can indicate that we are taking care of either ourselves or someone else, or there's something big that we need to take care of. But you are bringing the end of this like chapter of feeling like it's all on your shoulders. You're bringing an end to that chapter. It's no longer going to feel like it's all weighing on you. We also have the way shower. I also feel like you're coming up with a plan, and I really feel like December 26th, oddly, the day after Christmas, is going to be a significant day for you. The way shower, decide, discern, defend. You are, with your new plans and with your new visions for yourself, you're going to start to see the new action that you can take, which is actually going to be really inspiring for you, especially going into the next year. I feel like by the last week of December, you're already going to get new insights and epiphanies on new actions that you can take, new things that you can do that are going to reinvigorate your spark. So by the end of the month, you're already going to be kind of living a new reality, living a new life. We also have inner child coming out, so play, laugh, silly, heal your child wounds. There's going to come a time, and I feel like it's going to be when you're spending time with family and things like this, that you're going to feel that inner spark and that inner laughter, and you're going to be like, you know what? Why don't I live like this more often? It's going to kind of help you see what you want to add more of in your life and the way that you really want to go in. We also have awareness, key to healing, notice patterns and illusions, and pause. Key to healing, noticing patterns and illusions and pausing. So December is definitely like a month of a lot of reflection and a lot of change. Change in the sense of realizing what you no longer want to perpetuate moving forward. And it's also this awareness on your own patterns so that you can begin to heal them and no longer take them into this next year. We also have power coming out for you. This is a month of stepping back into your power. And I also feel like you're going to be voicing some things this month, some really important things, things where you're like, you know what, I no longer want this, I no longer want that. Like, look at how this bear is roaring. It's really starting to use your voice. And also, it could be using your voice very internally with yourself as well. So for example, if you've had particular habits that have been really hard for you to break, this specifically would be your inner voice is going to become loud and be like, you know what, nope, we're putting an end to it. Ten of Swords is literally putting the end to the old patterns. And it's almost like you're making such a drastic end to those old patterns that you're taking it seriously. You're like, you know what? No, this is not continuing. There's not going to be a way back into the past anymore. It's like really the finalization of something. It's the finalization and the end. And it's like you've really, really decided that. There's a deep decision that you've made. Also with the Ten of Swords, I feel like you're going to be putting up boundaries with yourself and almost ways that kind of keep you in check to honor this ending. Okay, so this could be like blocking certain apps, blocking certain people. This could be, you know, making sure that there's a way that you kind of stay in alignment to ending those habits and implementing new ones. Then we also have the void, which also makes me feel like you're emptying things out. You might even do a big like house clean out where you're like, you know what, I want to get rid of this, I want to get rid of that, I want to get rid of this type of thinking, this type of thought. I really feel like you're going to be putting up some strong boundaries this month, because I feel like you are at the point where you're like, I no longer want this to repeat. And I'm so ready to actually feel more, this is going to come out sounding weird, but to feel more empty, if that makes sense, or like a cleanse. That's what I'm trying to say. To help you feel like you have cleansed. Cleansing your mind, cleansing your physical reality, cleansing your emotional reality, and cleansing your spirit. This is a month of a big, big cleanse, and it's going to feel really, really positive after. So even though it might feel like, whoa, that's a lot right now, the dawn is there, which is beautiful, and the dawn is going to keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter, because what happens when the dawn is coming? It just keeps getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. So this is where you're going to start to see that brightness really showing up. So let's go ahead and dive into our Astro Dice and see what else we get for your month of December. We have Venus in Cancer in the first house. The first house is the house of reinvention and of yourself. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and money. So it's like you're really diving into more self-love. You're wanting to make life more beautiful in general. You might even be doing something for yourself, self-care. This could be like getting your hair done, doing something else for yourself to kind of like really feel more in alignment with your own essence and your own beauty. And then it's also about love as well. And this is really about loving yourself and putting yourself first and foremost, especially because it's in the first house. Cancer is the sign where it's all about love and connection, following your intuition. It's also the sign of coming out of your shell, but also feeling safe in your own skin. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you, my love, my group number ones, for your month of December. Anything else that Spirit would like to say? Let's see. So we also have take care of your rarity. And we also have I give myself permission to release any guilt, shame, or regret. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I give myself permission to release any guilt, shame, or regret. My love, there's going to be a big clean out this December, and it's going to feel so good afterwards. Quite literally, the way that I could describe this feeling is, you know, when there's a bunch of clutter in your house and then you do such a deep clean, you get rid of all that clutter and everything's organized and pristine and beautiful. I feel like the month of December for you is the organization clean out month. But I mean that more metaphorically. You could also be doing that physically, but I also feel like you're doing that mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and within your, you know, external things in the world as well. So it's like you're doing this big clean out, bringing endings to the old, throwing away the old, and really kind of inviting in this clear space. And that is the best way I can describe this. And the feeling of it afterwards, after you're done this process, even though the process might be a little bit like, whoa, because sometimes things get messier, especially as we're doing a clean out, because, you know, we're taking out all of the stuff from our drawers, doing all these things. So even though it can feel energetically and physically like it's almost getting messier for a little bit, it's quite literally getting more organized and more clean. And the way that you are going to feel after is that pristine feeling when your home gets a good clean and you're like, whew, I feel like I can breathe. I feel like I have a breath of fresh air. I feel so organized and so put together. There's that energy that's coming on the other side of all of this. Because when the Emperor shows up, even though he's reversed, because again, you're doing the more inner work right now, right? It's reversed, you're doing all the inner work. Eventually, this card, because the archetype is showing up for you, eventually it's going to feel like you are in that Emperor stage where it's like, oh, look at what I've built. Look at what I have. But that only comes after we do that inner work first. So December is your inner work month. And I cannot wait to see how you shapeshift on the other side of this and the massive shifts that you're going to be making, because there's going to be this feeling, this breath of fresh air. And so sometimes the void, the void can be seen as either a negative thing or it can be seen as like the best thing. And for you, I feel like the void is going to be giving you power, because it's like you're intentionally getting rid of things, right? You're intentionally taking care of everything that you need to, getting back into alignment, doing some deep healing and all of that. So my love, I'm sending all of my love to you. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for the month of December. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, my group 2s, we have a very clear message. First and foremost, we have 2 of Pentacles being reversed, 9 of Wands upright, Page of Wands being reversed, and then the 10 of Wands being reversed, which, okay. 2 of Pentacles being reversed to start us off. It feels like in recent times, you have been just juggling so many things. When 2 of Pentacles is reversed, it's like we're almost overwhelmed with how much we're juggling, to the point where things are kind of feeling like, it's like the juggler has too many balls that they're rolling through, that some of them start dropping and you're just like, ah. Like there has been a lot going on in your life, and the month of December is you putting some of those balls down. to stop rushing, to stop moving so much, especially with 10 of Wands being reversed as well. There's a major theme, especially these being on the 2 end sides of this reading. Your entire theme of the month of December from beginning to end is about releasing what no longer serves you, releasing some of your responsibilities so that you can take a breather, so that you can take a break. The 9 of Wands too is when we're regathering strength for what's to come. It's kind of like, okay, I did a lot of the battle already, and I'm pausing to regather my strength and to kind of heal and to gather my breath and to rejuvenate myself. And the 9 of Wands is also about putting up boundaries. And I really feel like a big realization for you has been like, I need to have boundaries with my schedule and with my time and with how many things I say yes to or no to. So you're going to be saying no to a lot of things in your life that you're just like, I no longer want to continue piling up my schedule to the point of overwhelm. It's kind of like, I want to be really intentional with what I say yes to, really intentional with what I say no to. And I almost feel like there's going to be certain plans that you are canceling in the month of December. Certain plans where you're just like, you know what, I actually don't have time for this. So I'm going to let it go and I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to give myself a little bit more time off to regather your energy. Page of Wands, when it's reversed, it's almost to the point where it's like, we have ideas, but it's like, where's the energy to move forward on them? Or sometimes when we don't even have ideas coming to us and we kind of feel like a lack of inspiration, a lack of motivation, a lack of energy, where it's sort of like, I really just want to rest in bed. Your month of December is going to be about, okay, I'm going to give myself permission to rest in bed a little bit and to take a little bit of time off, which is going to be amazing. We also have devotee. So what are you committing yourself to this month? You're committing yourself to some relaxation. Okay, you're also going to be dedicating yourself to something. I feel like you're making some big promises to yourself this month. And look at inspire, acquire, emerge. You're learning how to acquire your energy again, how to acquire inspiration again. And it's coming through dedicating to personal rejuvenation. And also, perhaps some of you really want to dedicate to a certain spiritual practice. This could be dedicating to going to the gym, going to yoga, meditating, journaling, whatever thing it is for you. But I feel like there's something that you're realizing like, hey, this is really good for me and I feel really good when I do this thing, and therefore I want to do a lot more of it. And I feel like the month of December for you, you're going to be really committing, and it's going to be inspiring for you, by the way. It's going to be really inspiring. You're like, ooh, I can't wait to get started in this. So perhaps something inspires you externally, like somebody else's story or watching a video or seeing a movie or something is going to catch your attention. You're going to see something that really inspires you, like, hey, I really want to start a practice like that. And then you're going to see what a benefit it has on you, and it's going to feel really, really good. So you're going to be emerging with a new energy, devoting yourself to a particular diet, practice, exercise, spiritual thing, something like this. It's going to feel really good though. We also have the Sovereign card coming out. So this is when you reclaim your power. I feel like you're becoming a little bit more conscious and aware of your unconscious habits that have maybe been perpetuating on the back burner a little bit. This is where you reclaim your awareness of like, you know what? This does not make me feel good. This is something that I don't want to do anymore. And you're kind of calling your power back, and you're reclaiming your ability to kind of be the leader and the creator, because guess what? You literally are. So why do we sometimes fall into these patterns where we think, oh, I have to do this right now, or I have to do that right now? It's like, maybe we have a little bit more power than we think. So you're going to be really calling your power back to start governing your life a little bit more. And I almost see you getting into like scheduling. Perhaps you're going to create a digital calendar or maybe like a physical calendar. And I really feel like you're getting into like calling your power back by being more deliberate with what you do. And I kind of see you having fun with like scheduling and things like that. Scheduling in personal time, scheduling in time to lay in bed. We also have the card of Messenger coming up for you. Proclaim, guide, announce, and counsel. So there's also going to be an important message coming through for you in the month of December. So this could be like a really important email with a new opportunity. This could be just like an insight or a message that you receive in a dream, for example, or this could be somebody reaching out to you as well. I feel like there's going to be somebody reaching out to you where, this could also be you having a message to announce as well, by the way. So for some of you, this could represent a message that you have to announce, like an exciting announcement of like, hey, here's the news, here's some big news, but it also could be big news coming in from somebody close to you that sort of affects you in some way, shape, or form in a significant way. So this could be announcements of pregnancies, the announcements of engagements. This could be you announcing something big like this, or something new in your career, new career opportunity, but there's like an important message. If you've been waiting for an important message, well, you're gonna absolutely hear back for it this month. We also have the card of community. So you're also gonna be surrounded by like friends, family, and really positive people this month that really uplift you, support you. I feel like the people that you connect with this month and have fun with, it's gonna feel so rejuvenating, and you're gonna realize like, oh, I just love being near people that make me feel good. It's going to be a really positive experience. We also have the card of intimacy. This one says connect, discover, voice needs, explore, and heal. So you're also going to be more vocal about what it is that you need and you want. And then also intimacy in general. This could be having more intimate, close time with yourself and more intimate, close time with those that you really love and care about. So there's going to be a lot more closeness this month with people that you love. We also have the card of share wisdom. There's going to be a lot of fun conversations that you get. And I also feel like there's going to be some important messages coming through conversations that you have with the people that you're going to be seeing this month. So this could be like if you get together with your family for Christmas or something, or if you get together with friends, all of a sudden there's going to be some sort of significant conversation that maybe is like a deep conversation where all of a sudden you gain some really great insight. That's like, oh, why didn't I think of that before? Somebody's going to be kind of like perhaps giving you a really good idea or kind of helping you reach a solution in your life with something. And it's going to really spark a big epiphany. And when that does happen this month, I highly recommend taking time to jot it down and note it so that you don't forget it. We also have the card here of surrender. Surrendering and going with the flow. So I feel like there's going to be at times of the month, there's going to be this antsiness of like, oh, I should be doing this right now, or oh, I should be doing that, or oh, I usually kind of do more of this and that. But this is a month where it's going to really call you to rest and relax and say no to certain things. And Spirit's advice coming through is to surrender to that process, because this is where the flow is going to happen. There are certain conversations that are meant to happen this month, certain realizations that are meant to happen, certain devotions where you're like, okay, I'm committing to this certain practice or this certain thing. All of these things are meant to be happening this month, but they only come through when you go with the flow and you listen like, okay, I'm meant to be relaxing a little bit more. I'm meant to be kind of, going with the flow and allowing things to happen. So surrender to the process and don't feel like you're behind, because there's divine timing in this, and the universe is like, these things are more important than what you would be doing otherwise, okay? Then we also have the card here of get wild. I feel like you're gonna be stepping outside of your regular comfort zone and your regular schedule. Things are gonna get a little bit different this month than your regular routine. And it's gonna feel exciting and it's gonna feel fun. And this is your chance to really just like let loose, allow yourself to be wild and free, allow yourself to have fun. This is the month of you being able to just relax. Like usually for most people, this is a month full of a lot of holidays and a lot of like different routines and us just kind of like getting to relax and have fun. This month is literally meant to be that way for you, my group twos. This month is quite literally meant to be one of getting wild and free, letting the chains loose a little bit. And let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you with our astro dice. So we have Neptune in Virgo in the 5th house. The 5th house is the house of children, of passions, creativity, dating even. Neptune is the planet of fantasies and things that we daydream about, things that we really desire to happen. It's also connected to media and things like this. With Virgo, Virgo's the planet of communication, of scheduling, of health and wellness, of healing. And so I feel like you are going to be healing and sort of rediscovering what your passions are by daydreaming. What makes me passionate and how can I add that to my routine? You're also going to be realizing what brings a feeling of wellness and rejuvenation. And these big realizations, they're meant for you to implement them. And the more you fantasize about them and begin daydreaming about how that works within your schedule, you're going to begin to see like new ideas, new epiphanies, a whole new life that you could be leading, which is going to have a lot more inspiration behind it. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you. For any of you that are interested in dating and are single, this could also talk about like using dating apps to communicate and, you know, connect to people. It can sort of mean that, kind of, since the 5th house is about dating. So I just wanted to mention that for my single people out there. Let's see what else we have. I create my reality every day. Remember, my love, you are the divine creator of your reality and you create your reality every day. Let's see what else we have here for you, my love. Okay, so we also have this will all feel kind of terrible until it doesn't. So sometimes when we're canceling plans and our schedule is changing up, it can kind of feel like it's out of our control and we can kind of feel like, ah. But then when we're on the other side of it, when we're like having fun and having those deep conversations, we're like, you know what? I'm so glad I did this. So we also have don't worry about where you've been or where you're going. Just worry about the present moment. The present moment is what creates our future. Then let's see what else we have. We also have I am sacred. And we also have don't let life be a collection of missed opportunities. So say yes to the things that feel like they are meant to be said yes to, especially those relaxing things. Right? Say no to the things where it's like, you know what? I'm overwhelmed. I need to let stuff go. Say no to that, but say yes to your inner callings, the things that feel so right to you, the things that fill you with that right emotion. Those things, say yes to. Say no to the things where it's like, that's my regular routine. I just feel like I have to do it. I feel like I should be doing it. This is the month to let go of those. Okay, my love, so this is your month of December. It's definitely going to be a month that switches the energy up a bit. It's going to be all positive and leading to like new epiphanies and all of these beautiful things. So it could feel overwhelming at times of like, oh no, am I not doing enough? But at the same time, you're meant to surrender this month. You are meant to relax this month. You are meant to share wisdom and go with the flow to those new opportunities that are going to be leading you to brand new realizations and epiphanies. So I'm sending you all my love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for the month of December. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 3s. I used some crystals over top of the Lovers card that came out just because the last time that this card was out in a reading, because there's like a slight bit of nudity, that video got demonetized. So we're covering up that card a little bit. So we have the Two of Swords being reversed, the Lovers upright, the Ace of Pentacles being reversed, and then the Page of Swords upright. So the Two of Swords being reversed as our first card, there is something that is gaining clarity for you in the month of December. This was perhaps a choice or even something that you were holding yourself back from. It could be holding back like your inner thoughts or your authenticity or your truth or something that was like urging you forward. And it could have been that we were holding ourselves back because we were afraid of the consequences of talking about it, or we were afraid of what might happen to actually take that action or make that choice or do something, right? And so this could have indicated like there was like this moment in the past of this feeling of being frozen, of this feeling of inaction. Whereas the month of December, it seems like you are making a choice, especially because we have the Lovers upright as the very next card. So there's a choice where you are actually fully taking action, you're making a decision. This decision most likely involves another person or something external from you, just because we also have the Lovers coming out. So there could have been like a big conversation that perhaps you've been putting off, or something where you've been really wanting to gain clarity on something, or words that you've really wanted to speak about, or conversations that you know that you wanted to have, or something like this. It could also indicate somebody else coming back in as well, somebody else who felt paused as well, somebody else who felt like they can't speak, and then all of a sudden the floodgates are open and they're coming, knocking at your door being like, hey, I really want to have this conversation. So there could be someone outside of you wanting to do this, or again, it could be yourself that has these urges as well. You're going to know which side of the spectrum that you're on based on how you've been feeling internally. If you've been feeling like there has been things that you've been wanting to speak about, then of course this is you finally becoming unfrozen and moving the needle forward and having those conversations, again, and vice versa. So I actually see that these conversations are going to be going really well and healing something, bringing back balance, bringing back companionship, understanding, becoming on the same page as somebody else. This is going to be a really positive thing. The Lovers can sometimes also indicate a choice as well. So if this situation has nothing to deal with a relationship, this could have been a choice in your life where it's like, okay, do I stay where I am, or do I make this choice to say yes to this other thing? This is a decision that you're going to gain so much clarity on prior to December 14th, or at least by December 14th is what I'm feeling for most of you. Some of you, it might take until the 20th, some of you, but I feel like for like the majority of you, by December 14th, this is something that's going to be figured out and things are going to be moving forward. And usually when the Lovers comes out upright, this is like a connection or like a yes happening. So this could be you being like, you know what, yes, I'm going to take this new opportunity. I'm going to say yes to this. Or again, it could be receiving a yes from something external from you. The Ace of Pentacles being reversed, however, can indicate a delay or a pause, or needing to rework the foundation a little bit more, needing to gain a little bit more clarity on it. So this might have to deal with this situation, or this could be like some aftermath, external things that are outside of this. But the Ace of Pentacles being reversed would talk about things that you're like, you know what, I'm okay with putting that on pause for now, or I'm okay with like coming back to that a little bit later. So it's sometimes putting a delay with something that we've been wanting to get started on. So this could be like getting started on a new project, a new idea, really planting a new seed and committing to something. It could be like, you know what, let me put this on pause for a little bit. Let me like think about it for a second. So the Ace of Pentacles being reversed would indicate a slight delay happening in certain plans moving forward. And it could be because it's like the holiday season and perhaps there's a lot going on for you in regards to that. We also have the Page of Swords coming up upright. And the Page of Swords is about communication, planning things. So there's more in the planning stage for you. And I feel like the month of December for you is going to be very much about wanting to make sure that things are perfect. And it's going to be very heavily about conversations. Because it's like, how could we fully plant a seed if the plans aren't fully there, right? Like, let's say we have an idea like, I want to open up a business. Okay, that's totally Ace of Pentacles. But let's say we don't know what that business would even be yet. Well, then of course we can't really plant that seed until we know what it is. Or if it's like committing to a relationship, until we fully have the conversations of like, oh, are you wanting marriage and children and all these big factors, maybe we can't quite say yes to it until we're on the same page, right? So this would be about figuring those things out in order to be able to plant this seed. But there is a seed here that clearly wants to be planted. But there's some more figuring out to be done. There's some more planning and some more things that have to be first implemented before this is going to be planted. So there could be a slight delay in something in December. But I see by the end of December, you're going to have those plans fully figured out and the clarity will be there. Page of Swords brings us so much clarity. So we also have the card of Temple coming out for you. And this could be you like taking time to really retreat and reflect and think, how do I feel internally? And if you're ever confused about something, especially these two cards are similar in colors, they're totally speaking to each other. So if you are still unclear about a choice, or if new information comes out this month where you're still like, ooh, that adds more to the puzzle. The way that Spirit is advising figuring it out is doing some inner reflection and asking, how does that make me feel internally? Do I feel peaceful with this? Do I feel excited about this? Do I internally feel called to a yes, or do I internally feel called to a no? That is how you're going to add more clarity to figuring things out. We also have the card of Oracle coming through. This card says lead, ask, listen, and trust. So the things that you ask, you will receive answers for this month. That's a huge indication. And then we also have Sorceress, summon, conjure, weave, and enchant. So there's things that are, like spiderwebs always resemble the manifestation of something, the weaving together of something. This is a month of weaving together plans and ideas until you get to that same page, and then the manifestation can kind of take place. This light that's showing in the middle of this web is sort of like the light that's behind the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this is the month of planning so that pentacle can be taken and planted so that it can grow, right? The Ace of Pentacles represents like a seed that we can then plant and then grow into like a physical manifestation. But sometimes we need to figure out where that seed needs to be planted, how to best water it, and all those things. And that's the planning stage. That's weaving the web. Then we also have unapologetic. Be yourself, release societal expectations, be a mess. You know, this month, and I really feel like I'm called to say this, especially with the Two of Swords and everything, there might have been this delay or this feeling of like, I don't want to have this conversation. I want to delay this a little bit. I don't know if I can fully step forward into this. I don't know what my answer is. And perhaps there was this desire to be seen as perfect, to be seen as having everything figured out, or, you know, like to kind of like keep things smooth. But however, if things are internally not feeling quite smooth, we need to kind of let it all out in order to smooth it out, right? So there's a big realization. So to be unapologetic, to kind of be a mess is to be like, you know what? I'm done holding this in. I'm done being so perfect on the outside and then kind of like confused on the inside. I'm just gonna let all my confusion out, because then we can sort it out, and then we find the true like flatness or even outness or like unchaoticness. Whatever I'm trying to say, smoothness. Then we can actually create real smoothness, right? So this is a month where you're going to be coming out of some of your inhibitions, where you're going to be really like, you know what, I really need to speak my mind instead of just people pleasing, or instead of telling somebody what I want them to hear. I need to be really direct and honest, and Page of Swords is direct and honest. This is your month of really coming out into your authenticity and speaking what's truly on your mind, so that you don't find yourself connecting to situations that you don't want to be connected to. I've literally had friends that have gone on dates before and have been too scared to tell that person that they don't like them, so then they end up going on all these other dates, and then all of a sudden they end up in a relationship with this person, and they're like, wait a second, how did I even end up in a relationship? I didn't even really like this person. Now I'm like in love with them because I've been seeing them for so long, and like, oh my God, what of a mess have I gotten myself into? And sometimes it comes from this difficulty of just being authentic from the beginning. Whereas if you're just authentic from the beginning, it's just, things are so much smoother. And it's like, yes, it might hurt somebody. Page of Swords even talks about that. Page of Swords can talk about like, sometimes the truth hurts a bit, but the truth also sets us free, right? Because we're just doing everybody a disservice if we're not being truthful to them. If we're, you know, floating their boat being like, no, I totally like you, when you don't. Or it's like, you know, oh my God, you did such a good job on this, great job. And then you're thinking in the back of your head, like, this is terrible, I need to fix this. Then it's like, we're kind of doing them a disservice, because then they can't grow and they can't be free to kind of like, you know, find their right match or grow and learn how to do things properly or whatever. It's sort of like we do them a disservice and we also do ourselves a disservice. And so it's like, really sometimes, yes, the truth hurts, but it also sets us free. So unapologetic. Okay, apologies are also great, but still we have to be direct at times too. And I feel like this is your month of really being direct, and Spirit is really wanting to say that, like, this is your month to be direct. So feel emotions, understand emotions, inner guidance, and validate yourself. Your emotions are valid. And so perhaps the Two of Swords is being reversed because we've almost felt like my emotions aren't valid. You know, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I don't understand it. Your emotions are completely valid. Maybe you're afraid of what other people might think of your emotions, but at the same time, your emotions are completely valid. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. And the more that you express them and kind of see how other people interpret them and receive them, that's where we can navigate things and figure out, are we a right match? And are things gonna, get better and all these things? So you're gonna start to understand your emotions on a deeper level this month. There's gonna be some emotional times of really feeling your emotions in depth, but it's also gonna help set you free. So we also have the card here of get curious. So get curious, have the conversations, desire to find out where they're at and what's going to happen when you be authentic. This is your month of exploration. We also have fate. So there's no escaping fate. So whether you run from the truth or face the truth, eventually the truth is going to come out. Eventually it has to come out and crack that egg open. But better earlier than waiting and then wasting more time, right? So then we also have withdraw. Take some time out to reflect. Reflect on your true feelings before making quick decisions. Okay, so take pause before making quick decisions. Get clear yourself, but then sometimes clarity comes through the conversations, right? So let's go ahead and dive into our Astro Dice and then our last Oracle deck here. So for our Astro Dice, we have the Sun in Aquarius in the 11th house. The 11th house is networking, other people, friendships, the rest of the world, media, all types of things like that. The Sun is your soul and your inner callings and your inner light and being able to fully shine your authentic self. Aquarius is the sign, which is connected to the 11th house. Aquarius is the sign of innovation, random events, unexpected things, and all things like that. It's also a sign of communication and voicing yourself and being fully authentic. So the Sun in Aquarius is like, shine your uniqueness. Shine what makes you you. Don't try to fit into a box to be perfect like anybody else, or not that anybody else is perfect, but sometimes we try to be like, oh, let me try to be like this person or like that person. This is about fully being yourself, unapologetically yourself, and seeing how that then unfolds and is received. Because the way that we connect with our true friendships and the people who are meant to be in our lives is by being fully authentic and being fully ourselves. Because then we know who resonates with us and who doesn't. If we have to wear a mask to have friends, then I don't want those friends, right? Because they don't understand me for me anyway. So we also have the cards of I am and always will be enough. Ooh. Then we also have destruction is the way to transformation. So don't be afraid of destruction. I used to be afraid of having like deep conversations because I'd be afraid of like, what if they don't like me? What if it messes things up? What if it does this? But what I realized is sometimes conversations need to be messy because then we see like, oh, is this person able to help me rebuild? And not that you should go seeking like destructive conversations. No. But sometimes conversations are just in and of itself messy because we're like, I have this emotion, I have this thought, I have this, So don't be afraid of what might happen. Don't be afraid of those external things. Just be you and be authentic, because as you're authentic, even if it does tear some things down or, whatever, it is the way to transformation and it's the way to authenticity and it's the way to the right path. That's how we find the right path. The right path isn't forged through us holding back and not being ourselves and hiding ourselves. Then of course we're on the wrong path. The way to the right path is by destroying all the things that are in our way that are holding us back from our authenticity, continuing to break through those walls to find our authentic path, and then we see what is a match and what is not. That's the only way to find out though. So that's your month of December. There was a lot of extra information in there, but yes, that is your month of December. It definitely looks like big choices are being made. Conversations are a huge aspect. Planning is a huge aspect this month. And then the seed can be planted in this next year by finding out what is that right match and finding out, okay, is this seed ready to be planted or not? And you're going to find out via the planning and the conversations and the authenticity. So my love, a new fate is going to crack open for you in the month of December based on you being unapologetically yourself, feeling emotions, getting curious, asking questions, and being able to receive those answers with clarity this month. And that is your month of December. It definitely looks like it's going to be a big transformative month for you. And it's going to be you honoring your inner temple and yourself. And that always feels the best when we honor ourselves because it makes us feel like we can fully be us and shine our light. And that's always the best feeling. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for the month of December. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 4s, let's dive into it. Also, I broke my nail while baking cookies, so just ignore that. So anyway, we have the King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Chariot being reversed, and then the Four of Wands being reversed. So overall, your month, the King of Pentacles is such a great card in terms of feeling stable and also really proud of yourself. Perhaps there's something that you've made a lot of progress on this year, and coming into December, perhaps you're like, wait a second, like I really deserve to celebrate that, to feel proud of how far I've come and all the things that I've accomplished this year, because I feel like with the King of Pentacles, there's certain things that you really refined, certain things that you've really created, and perhaps you've stepped more into your leadership energy this year. And maybe there's something big that you recently accomplished or finished. And if so, then this card would talk about celebrate that, really embody that energy and really just feel into how far you've come and how much progress that you've made. Look back on your last year and just like really start to see all those shifts that you've made. Queen of Cups coming out next as well talks about emotional fulfillment and coming into more emotional fulfillment as well. Since we have both of these cards, but also with the Chariot and the Four of Wands being reversed over here, there's also going to be some time to kind of like reevaluate things this month in terms of your foundation, in terms of what you want to build next, in terms of getting higher from where you currently are. Because maybe there's also this feeling of like, did I reach the peak? Can I even excel more from here? Can I even grow more from here? And I feel like this is going to be a month of kind of redefining where you want to go from here, what direction you want to go in, because it almost seems like there might even be a little bit of confusion, perhaps around your foundation, maybe where it is that you want to live, maybe even with certain plans that you currently have moving forward. Maybe there's a little bit of a redirection kind of energy that you're thinking about. Maybe you're like, okay, I've come a long way, but now I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to change things up. Maybe I want to move somewhere else. Maybe I want to renew my foundation in some way, shape, or form. Perhaps you're wanting to renew the way that you do things because it's worked up until now, but I feel like where you've gotten and what got you here is not going to get you to your next level. And I feel like you are realizing that through December is like, okay, what got me here isn't necessarily going to bring me to where I want to go next. So this is going to be a month of reevaluating what your future looks like, what you want it to look like, and the next steps that you can begin taking and what needs to be revised. Because the Chariot being reversed is like, okay, what's blocking me? What's currently standing in my way? Or if we feel like we've reached a dead end in something, then it's sort of like, okay, if I still want to continue forward, how do I reroute myself, right? So let's say that your goal is at the top of the mountain peak. And right now you've made it to this like kind of slope and this kind of edge that seems like the top, but then you realize, oh, well, I can't really go to the top from here because there's just a big fat wall in front of me. Well, then of course, sometimes we need to climb a little bit back down and then reroute so we can continue going higher. So Spirit is saying if you currently feel stuck in anything, or if you currently feel like you've maybe made it as far as you can go in something, Spirit is saying that there's always ways to expand more. There's always ways to be more creative again, to get reinvigorated with inspiration, new things to get excited about. For example, if you don't know exactly where you want to root yourself or where you want to live or what you want your foundation to look like, or perhaps this is around career or something, if you're unsure about what that looks like, that's okay. There are a multitude of different things, and that's like the fun of discovery. And so I feel like the month of December is going to be about new discovery, what you can grow and build from here on out, and how you can continue finding fulfillment and creating even more fulfillment, because Spirit wants to remind you that you have not reached the end. December might also be a month where you are shifting things around your home. Whenever this is reversed, we might be doing like a big home clean out. We might be even getting news that we are going to be moving, or perhaps we're thinking about moving, or perhaps we're even thinking about like uprooting ourselves in some way, such as shifting our job or shifting something else that's very foundational. And this could also be shifting directions, because the Chariot coming in reverse, it's like there's going to be a shift in direction coming up. And it could be because of news coming in, or it could be because of your own inner realizations about what you want and what you desire. But I really feel like there's going to be things that are shifting up. This could also be certain plans that you have right now, like certain plans of traveling somewhere or certain plans of going somewhere, that all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait a second, we need to take a step back and we need to put a halt on this, because perhaps there's other important things that are going to be taking more precedent over old plans that you had. So that's another factor that could also tie into the Chariot and the Four of Wands there. The next card we have is also the Musician card. So you're also going to be kind of going with the flow and reharmonizing your life. So the things that are currently out of harmony, I want you to ask yourself right now, what feels out of harmony for you? And I feel like this is correlated to the home, because when I look at the pillars on the Four of Wands, it's kind of like the pillars on this card. And so there's something that I feel like you desire to express, or something that you desire to harmonize around your home life that might currently feel out of harmony, or might currently feel that there's something else that you desire to express. Maybe there's like a certain emotion that you desire to bring, a certain frequency that you desire to bring, and you're going to be working on bringing about more of that frequency. The Queen of Cups is all about self-care and self-nurture. So this is also going to be a month where I feel like you're giving more to yourself. You're really taking time to rejuvenate you, and I feel like you're doing it by kind of reinventing your space. There's going to be a lot going on around your foundation and your home life, where you're doing a lot of reinventions there to bring about more fulfillment, more stability. Whatever currently feels unstable or unpredictable, I feel like you are trying to bring in a brand new foundation. And Spirit is also reminding you that the foundation that you've already created is very solid. So even if things ever feel shaky, Spirit is reminding you that you've built something very solid, and Spirit really wants to remind you of that. Okay, we also have Theater coming up. So Theater, very interesting. The Theater card shows this person putting on a mask, which is kind of interesting. And this says participate, challenge, co-create, and contend. So there could be something where if you have ever felt like you have been inauthentic in any way, or if you've been feeling like, oh, I'm kind of just like pretending things are okay when they're not, or I'm kind of like putting on this mask to pretend I'm happy when I'm not. This is also going to be a theme that comes up this month of you removing whatever mask that was, and you kind of facing things in the real way. So rather than kind of like putting on an act, or again, putting on a mask for anything, I feel like you're really letting your authenticity out. Queen of Cups can represent that you have emotions to release, but when she's upright, it's kind of like there's a really positive release, and it just flows out, and it's in the right time. Okay, even if it might feel shaky, or if it might feel weird, there might be something that's kind of like on your mind where you're just like, you know what, I don't want to like just pretend I'm okay right now, when I just really need time to relax, or I really need to say no to this current thing, or I really need to, you know, focus on the things that I really desire to do. So that's another thing that I see. We also have Medium, culminate, consult, connect, and convey. There's definitely strong intuitive feelings that you're going to be getting throughout the month. Your intuition is going to be very strong, especially with Queen of Cups showing up as well. But your intuition, especially with the Chariot being reversed, your intuition might feel like it's guiding you differently than where logically you thought you were heading. So there's going to be like different energies coming through, different feelings coming through. This is a month about honoring those feelings and being open and honest about those feelings. Okay? You're going to be culminating like a new energy, new desires this month. And this is time for you to kind of like let those new energies percolate, let those new desires percolate. And sometimes when these are reversed, it's because we have doubts of our ability to achieve something. So if you are currently bogged down by doubts of your ability to achieve something, Spirit wants to remind you again of what you've already created, because what you've already created is absolutely phenomenal. And Spirit is saying, like, you really deserve a pat on your back. And if you can do that, you can also get to your next level as well. So Spirit really wants to remind you of that. I want you to reflect on your past, all the things that you've accomplished over the last year, maybe even over the last 5 years. What have you accomplished? There's a lot that you've done. And if you can do that, again, you can recreate that. We also have the collective coming through. So this is also going to be a month where you're very supported. Look at all is connected, collective, growth, and supportive or supported. So growth as well. This is going to be also a month where I feel like there's going to be a lot of internal growth, of refinding what your next foundation is. Or at least setting up something that's more solid, more sturdy, somewhere where you can feel emotionally so stable and so fulfilled. We also have self-love coming through, which absolutely makes so much sense with the Queen of Cups as well. So I feel like I'm seeing like massages in your future. I'm seeing time off to relax. I'm seeing time off for you to kind of rejuvenate your own energy this month as well. And I do also see like a mix of taking care of responsibilities and also being busy and having things that you're passionate to work on, but then you're kind of balancing that out with self-love and self-care to find more fulfillment, to refuel your tank. There's something that is either delayed or paused because it's calling you to reevaluate your foundation or to kind of focus on your home and to restructure. There's a restructuring happening in December for you. Restructuring so that you can move forward. What has made you feel like you cannot move forward, my group fours? Because this is your month about restructuring. And it's interesting that you're group number 4 and we have 4 of Wands, which again is all about your foundation and your structure. What needs restructuring in order for you, excuse me, to continue moving forward? What needs restructuring in order for you to continue moving forward? Is it your business? Is it your schedule? Is it your time? Is it your amount of self-care and your time off? Is it your home organization? Is it your schedule organization? Is it your wellness routine? Does it involve other people maybe, right? We have like a lot of court cards here. Does it involve your partner if you have one? Your roommate if you have one? Your parents if you live with your parents? Maybe there's like restructuring that is called to kind of happen because it just feels like there's like a stuck energy or even a delayed energy because something needs to be restructured and have a more solid foundation. So you're going to be shifting up your routines this month as well. We also have Ask Body. So your body's definitely been speaking to you a lot this month. You're going to feel in your body when it's time to take a break, when it's time to act and move forward. Your body has also been calling you either to exercise more or to do some form of self-care. This could be like your diet. So Queen of Cups, the cups and water energy would represent your wellness. And wellness can be very connected to, again, diet or exercise or relaxation, time off. So really start to tune in with your body, and perhaps you're going to be adding in more things that create a more solid wellness routine for you that allow you to kind of move forward with more energy. Then we also have the card here of trust. Trusting in the process, trusting that this is all divine. So even if there are delays or things like this is all happening for you. Trust in the bigger picture because it's guiding you towards more of a successful foundation. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into our Astro Dice here. To get any more information, we have the Moon in Leo in the 5th house. The 5th house is the house of children, romance, dating, creativity, fun and pleasure. So this is a month where this is about you focusing on more pleasure rather than productivity. The Moon is about your emotions. So your body again, and your inner energy, your inner emotions are going to get reinvigorated, re-inspired, and reset on fire. There's going to be a new flame, a new spark, right? The Leo energy. There's going to be a new flame and new spark as you allow yourself to have fun and rest and relax. And the 5th house is about pleasure and creativity, so doing things just for fun. Not for, like, think about a child. A child doesn't say like, oh, I want to go play outside because it's going to be so productive for me or because it's going to energize me. A child doesn't say, oh, I want to go on a bike ride outside because it's going to clear my mind and I'm going to get my next new business idea, right? The child doesn't do anything for the terms of productivity. A child just says like, oh, I want to go play in my imagination because it's just fun. I just want to do that just for fun. And the 5th house, that's why it's related to children, because the 5th house is just for fun. Dating, just for fun. It is pleasure, just for fun. Creativity, just for fun, right? That's why it's related to kids. So your month of December is coming back to that inner child that literally just wants to have fun and doesn't want life to be a series of being productive all the time. This is your month of recognizing your inner emotional needs. This is what is going to reset off your spark for life to make you feel alive once again. This is it. This is your key, is reawakening that inner child that just wants to have fun and being able to honor that inner child and say, okay, let's go do this and let's go do it just for fun. And I really feel like as you do that, life is again going to get reinvigorated with a brand new spark. Okay, so lastly, one card here is, I am in full alignment with my physical vessel, emotional body, and etheric spirit. Wow, we were just talking about how to get in alignment with that, which is all about having fun. And this is very much correlated to all the cards that we had. Your physical vessel, King of Pentacles, your emotional body, Queen of Cups, and etheric spirit, which is all about this self-love, medium energy, and your empathic nature. Okay, so let's see what else we dive into here, what else we get. We also have, take your darkest experiences and transmute them into light. And as you do so, you will find the wisdom, you will find the higher purpose, the higher reason, and everything is literally going to make sense after that. So take your darkest experiences, transmute them into light. That is the growth. Perhaps there's certain conversations that you're going to have this month with other people that really help you see the light within previous dark experiences. Perhaps there's going to be some really enlightening conversations around that, where all of a sudden you're talking to somebody about what you've been through and what you've gone through, and they're like, wait a second, well, what if that's a good thing? What if it's leading to all of this? And what if it does this? Or it's like, well, you wouldn't be here unless there was this, right? And I feel like it's going to help you kind of transmute old energies and old things. It's like being surrounded by really good, positive people that are really uplifting. It's going to help you see a whole new side to things. And then, yeah, it's like you're really coming out of your shell and expressing things a lot more. And it's going to help you shift a lot of those old things in your life that have been maybe causing delays or holding you back in any sort of way. So that is what we have here. My beautiful group number 4s, thank you so much for joining me here for your December prediction. I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye.